Shalom, shalom, shalom. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're watching me from. I'm back again today with the message that the Lord has placed upon my spirit. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Minister Kettie. The message that I have for you today, the message that the Lord has placed upon my spirit, is titled The Treasure Behind the Veil. The Treasure Behind the Veil. So I'm going to read for you from the book of 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9. The Bible reads, "This is why the scriptures say, things never discovered or heard of before, things beyond our ability to imagine. These are the many things God has in store for all his lovers." I'm going to read that again. 1 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 9, the TPT translation. The Bible reads, "This is why the scriptures say, things never discovered or heard of before, things beyond our ability to imagine. These are the many things God has in store for all his lovers." I'm going to share this message based on kingdom relationships and kingdom marriages. I want you to understand something. The Bible says that things that you haven't discovered, things that you haven't heard of, are the many things that God has in store for those who love him. The TPT translation says God has in store for all his lovers. Okay? So I want you to understand something. Many are the times that we do not see the treasure in our kingdom relationship. We do not see the treasure in our kingdom marriages. Many are the times a veil has been placed in front of us that we don't see the treasure behind the veil. That's why this message is titled The Treasure Behind the Veil. Many are the times when you're facing struggles, when there's situations that you're facing in your kingdom marriage or in your kingdom relationship, you don't see the treasure. You don't see that good thing. But I want you to understand something. I want you to know today that the Bible says that things never discovered or heard of before, things beyond our ability to imagine. These are the many things that God has in store for all his lovers. I'm going to take you back and I want you to understand something. When you look at your partner, when you look at your helpmate, when you look at your king, the enemy might bring a veil. And when I say a veil represents the struggles, the tribulations, the hurt, the pain, whatever that you're going through in your kingdom marriage or in your kingdom relationship. The enemy will bring these things as a veil that covers you, and you do not see the treasure that is behind the veil. It's like a bride on a wedding day. They're covered with a veil. And as they walk down the aisle, you don't really see the beauty. You don't really see how beautiful the bride looks until the groom uncovers, until the groom, takes off the veil. So I want you to understand today that when it comes to your kingdom marriage or your kingdom relationship, you and your king, you and your helpmate have not yet even scratched the surface of what God has in store for your kingdom marriage or your kingdom relationship. I'm going to repeat that again. You and your king, you and your helpmate have not yet scratched the surface of what God has in store for your kingdom marriage and your kingdom relationship. All you're seeing right now could be the veil that the devil has placed in front of the treasure. But I need you to understand that one has to rise up in the kingdom marriage. One has to rise up in the kingdom relationship and uncover and remove the veil for you to be able to see the treasure. Hear me as I hear the Lord. The Bible says, things never discovered or heard of, things beyond our ability to imagine. These are the many things that God has in store for his lovers. So I want you to understand that if you haven't started seeing the good things, the things that you've never heard of, if you haven't started seeing the fruits in that kingdom relationship, in that kingdom marriage. I want you to hear me as I hear the Lord today, that you have not even scratched the surface of what God has in store for your kingdom marriage and your kingdom relationship. You could be a woman right now. You could be a man right now, feeling weary. You are tired. You've got to a point where you're saying, all I see are the pain, the struggles, the heartache, whatever that you're seeing. But I want you to understand today that you need to look beyond the veil. Because beyond the veil lies the treasure. Beyond the veil, once you uncover the veil, you will be able to see the treasure in your king. You will be able to see the treasure in your helpmate. Hear me as I hear the Lord today. I just want you to think about something today. I want to ask you a question today. That would the enemy be after anything that didn't have the potential to be greater than what it is today? Do you think the enemy would be after your marriage, would be after your kingdom relationship? When the enemy is attacking a kingdom relationship, the enemy is attacking the future kingdom marriage. So I want you to understand something, that do you think the enemy would be attacking your kingdom relationship, would be attacking your kingdom marriage, if there was no potential that the enemy has seen? That, if there was no potential for that relationship, for that kingdom marriage to be greater than what it is today, let me tell you, there is no way a thief is going to go and break into a home where he has not seen anything. Okay? So it's the same thing. The enemy has seen the potential, of your kingdom relationship or your kingdom marriage to be greater than what it is today. And because the enemy has seen that potential, the enemy wants to bring a veil, wants to cover the treasure with a veil. But it only takes one. It only takes one to uncover the veil, to remove the veil, for you to be able to see the treasure in your partner, the treasure in your kingdom marriage, the treasure in your kingdom relationship. Hear me as I hear the Lord, child of God. Protect your treasure by all means. Your helpmate is a treasure. Your king is a treasure. Learn to be intentional. Learn to be intentional. Pick your battles. Begin to get excited about the wonderful things that God has in store for your kingdom marriage or your kingdom relationship before you even start seeing those things. And the most important thing, pray for your treasure. Like I said, your helpmate is a treasure. Your king is a treasure. So today I want to ask you to uncover the veil for you to see the treasure. I love you and shalom.